And joining me live is opinion writer and columnist for Queensland's Courier Mail, Des Houghton. Des, thanks for your time this afternoon. You've just published a really compelling article on calls for the Queensland Premier David Crisafulli to act on gender. Can you explain a little bit about this?
Yes, Holly. Children and teenagers as young as 9 in this state are prescribed puberty blockers. Girls of 15 are having double mastectomies called gender-affirming surgeries. There were 35 of these in Queensland in a year. There are a few more in New South Wales and a few less in Victoria. Psychiatrist Dr. Gillian Spencer was stood down 19 months ago for questioning the work at the gender clinic run by the Queensland Children's Hospital. Dr. Spencer believes many young people with gender-related anxieties may in fact be suffering from a autism spectrum disorder or have hidden traumas or other distresses caused by family breakdowns or exclusion at school and bullying. She, though, says 90% of these people will grow out of this during puberty. Spencer has been vindicated. In England, a landmark report by Dr. Hilary Cass has come to the conclusion that the scientific validity for these gender programs is not there, and these programs do more harm than good. In the US last week, the American College of Paediatricians called on doctors to stop what it said was the harmful protocols associated with these kinds of treatments. So there you have it. Worryingly, Holly, Spencer, in evidence to the industrial courts where she's going, she says that her clinic promoted affirmation and transgender identity. And I better get this right. She said that this amounted to the promotion of a political cause. She said these clinics should be neutral political spaces. And she wants the clinic shut down. And I think that's probably likely to happen. She wants them shut down and the money diverted to more general child psychiatric services, which is sensible. This is a very sensitive area, so we'll have to tread very lightly.
It is a very sensitive area and it's a very complex issue, but it's really, really interesting and compelling, the argument that you've made there from the perspective of Dr. Spencer and her concerns there more broadly. And it's really interesting when you talk about the psychological impact or things that children may be going through, and potentially puberty blockers are not the right answer for them, and there could be other things for them to consider before going to that extreme and irreversible action. Someone made a compelling statement to me yesterday when we were talking about the social media age limit for children being 16 years of age, but then we're allowing young children to decide what gender they want to be. And there is an argument there as well. If they're not old enough to be on social media by the age of 16, then are they old enough to make decisions about their gender at such a young age as well? And I thought that was a really sort of compelling argument.
Spot on, Holly. Dr. Spencer also objected to the insistence by her superiors that the children be called by the personal pronouns they prefer. So she tried to avoid that, and she got it also into all sorts of trouble. I should also say Sky News had a role in this. Dr. Spencer was admonished and criticised by Queensland Health for going on and talking about this on Peter Credlin's show and on Rita Panahi's show. So there are attempts out there by government to muzzle this story, and we have to be very careful that we don't succumb to those pressures.
Okay. Des, I'm sorry to interrupt you there. We could keep talking about this. We do have to wrap things up. We've run out of time, but I know that you are calling on David Crisafulli to take action here. For all of our viewers, go and read Des's article and piece on this as well. Des, lovely to have your company this afternoon.
Thank you, Holly.